Live from the Scruffy Womp Rat Cantina, this is Under the Twin Suns.
Welcome back to Under the Twin Suns. Thanks for joining us. As always, it's me, your host, Cole, and I'm joined by everybody this week, which is Steve, Ruben, Chris, and Jonathan. And
What's up?
Evening all.
Hello.
recently, Steve, Chris, and I have gotten a little bit back into the Magic world, and and it's actually kind of funny because Ruben brought up a similar thing that Chris and I were talking about the other day, and that is, do we enjoy how spoilers are announced in Star Wars? So to just put it in perspective real quick, the next Magic the Gathering set, when this is being recorded, it's the 8th of May right now, and the next Magic the Gathering set is the Final Fantasy one, and that comes out on the 18th of June, which is a little bit over a month away. We still don't know what 75% of the cards in that set do, which, as a Star Wars fan, because now that I'm getting back into Magic as a set is coming out, it's interesting to watch because we have no idea what the Final Fantasy set does. Whereas with Legends of the Force, I think we know about a quarter to at least a third of the cards already. So I guess
Yeah, we're getting them really fast now. Like I feel like, especially this past week. My goodness, they were just dumping them on us.
I guess it's a long way of me just saying I prefer the Star Wars way of doing it because now I'm excited for the set and I actually look forward to it. And I'm not. The other issue is, this is my last rant, and then I'll turn it back over. I'm sorry, Steve. I can't decide if I want to buy a box of Final Fantasy or not because I don't know what's in the set. I know right now that I want Star Wars because I know what's in the set so far.
Agreed. It can it can be a good thing or a bad thing, I think, when it comes to your marketing. It's like, yes, everyone's hyped for Final Fantasy, and it's like if you like the IP, then more than likely well, I don't know. I love the IP of Final Fantasy, and part of me really wants it, but also they're really expensive right now, and I don't know if I'm willing to pay that. I could buy and then be super disappointed with what I wind up getting. So I'm on the fence, and I'm part of me is like maybe I'll buy like one. I don't think I want to buy a box. Maybe I'll buy like one like the 14 commander deck or something. Maybe I'll spend $100 and I'll just limit what I get, and then see what the singles prices are. Maybe. Um, so that's my thought with that. Because like you said, we're not getting spoilers. We don't know exactly what's in the set. But for Star Wars, this new, we know what's coming. I'm hyped for it. I'm all in. I'm gonna buy more than I normally do because I'm super pumped for this set.
There may be a little bit of a rush to the spoiler season on this set just because of galactic, galactic worlds or whatever. They want to give people as much time as possible to brew decks and put something together before then. So that could be why they're starting a little early.
Mm-hmm. I think there's just my opinion, but not that everything is FFG sponsored anyhow. But I think there's also more support from our online folks for being able to brew and test these cards as they're being spoiled and released as well, and that is a change.
Yeah.
What's normal as well. Like, soon as they're being spoiled and released, we're being able to test these right now in decks.
It
You
was
can't do
like
that
the
in other
day
games.
after, like the day after some of that stuff got spoiled. I put it into Force Table. It just popped up and started. I'm like, wow, it's already in there. That's nuts.
Yep, I'm enjoying that as well.
Jonathan, any thoughts?
I I was trying to think about it too. I'm a sucker for going completely blind into sealed events, but agree that if I want to invest in a set, I'd like to see the spoilers as Star Wars is doing it. So it's a weird. I can't be happy with either fully because either I know I want to invest or it's all right. Let's go completely blind, and I know everyone who's playing is also being like, "Oh, look at this card. It might pop off or it might suck, but we're gonna find out." Throw it on the deck.
I can agree with that, but I still think there's a different feel when you're going into sealed because when I look at some of these cards, I immediately start thinking how it's going to work with the decks that I have built or want to build, and then you go into sealed,
Mhm.
like the cards that I was thinking about, that's not part of seals. So how's this going to work? I know other people have different mindsets, and they go into sealed being prepared and thinking about exactly what they're gonna, you know, open for sealed. But I'm just, yeah, that's not me.
I feel very called out right now.
So from my perspective of this is spoiler season is really exciting. It gets the hype going. People are, we're just coming off of some sector qualifiers and some more PQs are coming up. People are really excited about the different things that are happening. And then my first thought was Carbonite. Like, what are these cards going to look like for the Carbonite side of this, right? Like, if they were really focused on the ships for JTL, right? I could just imagine. I'm not sure if they've announced this or not, but just knowing what some of these cards that are spoiled now would look like in Carbonite, are the prestige versions of these cards. I don't
So
know. I'm just
let me put a pin in that real quick. Remind me that when we talk about the Gen Con exclusives to talk about that, Ruben, because I have some thoughts on that, but I want to get into the meme section next. Because
yeah.
we do have a little bit of information about the Carbonites, and I do want to talk about that.
Okay, for sure.
So real quick, I'm gonna do a meme. Play the intro. And Jar Jar screams. Okay, so here we go for what's the meme. I call this Grievous's bodyguard. So you're gonna be playing Dooku and Grievous, which is green and yellow, and then you're also gonna grab a blue. So on turn 1, you're going to play droid deployment. That's it. You just need 2 little guys. Just got 2 little guys. You're just going to pass the turn. And then on turn 2, you're going to use your Dooku exploit onto one of your droids to bring out General's Guardian, which is the 4/4 green drop. That is, whenever it's attacked, you create a battle droid token. And then you're also going to drop Resilient onto that droid because you still have 1 open resource. So then you're going to take the turn. Go to your next turn, and then you're going to give it Electro Staff, which I thought was pretty on theme, and they're going to use Grievous to make it a Sentinel. You're going to exploit the other droid using Dooku for a Rogue class Starfighter, so now you've got 2 Sentinels that are both technically Magna Guards. Ta-da!
I love how you come up with these things. That's just the Electro Staff is like the coolest part there for me because those bodyguards are.
The fact that
And
you
they're
can...
so punished for attacking you too, because doesn't he
Yeah.
like give you droids if they attack him?
Mm-hmm.
That's
You get
pretty
every
good. That's
time he
actually
gets
really
attacked,
powerful
you get
too.
a droid. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was my meme. And then Ruben, do you want to actually start with the Gen Con exclusives real quick because we do have a little bit of information on the Carbonite?
I mean, I'll let you start off with the Gen Cons because I just recently saw it about it. So if you want to get going on that, because I'm still
Sure.
looking at it for seems like it's the first time.
I'm gonna throw them up on the screen right now. Okay, let me say something. As someone who has bought the Gen Con pack last year, I bought it and I still have it sealed in my sealed collection. But I have a couple of the singles as well. Listen, the first Gen Con pack was good. I am so happy that FFG has heard cool. Black cards are cool. They have a cool look to them. The first set of prestige cards looked cool. Thank God we have color. That's all I'm saying. We're getting some colorful cards. The Grogu spoiler that we saw was a prestige card, and it was a gold card. I'm hoping that we're not going with a theme of a different color for every Carbonite set. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that's the direction we're taking. I don't think every card will be gold, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm happy that we have color now, and it's not just really cool card, but all blacked out. Because you see the same thing with Obi-Wan and Kylo. Not that those aren't cool, but the Judge versions that I know, Ruben, you have a couple of those Judge versions. I think those look a lot better because they have the full color scheme to them. So for these droids, we have, I think we have a couple of cards we actually haven't seen yet that aren't out. Is it the Chopper? Is that the one that's not out yet?
Is it the?
They're the little droid from.
Oh yeah,
Order.
BD1 from it's from the Jedi games. Yeah. He's got hidden. Oh, he's definitely from this set. Hey Steve, I can't hear a word you're saying, man. I'm sorry.
One.
He's talking like the droids.
Yeah, and then we've got C-3PO here. That's a 1/3 action. Return this unit to its owner's hand. Give a unit +2/+2. That's pretty good. Oh. Oh my God, is it command? I think it is. And then we've got Chopper here, which is a 4/1 Glass Tanko Burr. Yeah, but I'm really excited for these cards. I'm gonna pick them up. I don't think I'm gonna go to Gen Con, but I will definitely be picking up a pack on TCG Player.
Yeah, they do look really nice, and I like the way they present them. It's kind of like schematics, right? They're kind of like showing what, like different portions of, I really like the way they do that. It's kind of, it's definitely different than what we're used to seeing, and it's kind of, I really enjoy the fact that they're making things different. Every time I see some art that they've done or a way of doing the cars, and they seem to surprise me every time. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Do you guys want to stop until we get Steve back?
I'm back.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks really good though. If I had to take a guess, and I say guess because it's a little bit hard to read the letters at the bottom of these cards. BD1 is definitely from this set because he's got hidden. Chopper, I could see being from this set.
I think all the ones on the bottom are from this set, and the ones on the top are from the previous sets.
Oh, that would make sense.
Oh yeah, because our 3PO that we have is a 1-cost 1/4, and then this is or as a 2-cost 1/4. This is a 1-cost 1/3.
And it's a command version.
It's got to be different.
3PO.
Because I've zoomed in.
Yep.
And yet, the BD1 is hidden when played. Choose another friendly unit. While this unit is in play, the chosen unit gets +1/+0 and gains Saboteur.
I do like that.
C3PO is a exhaust. Return this unit to its owner's hand. Give a unit +2/+2 for this phase. And Chopper is when this unit deals combat damage to a base, each player discards a card from their hand.
Oh my God! Do you guys
Ooh, I
know
like
what I just
that.
realized?
Weren't they all
That's
villain
scary.
cards last year?
Yeah, they were. These are all hero cards. That's awesome.
Okay.
Gross.
I think they're sick. I'm buying these.
I do like the schematic look of these and design, but I feel like those will be specific to Gen Con, and I think that we'll get the design for prestige cards that are more aligned with the Grogu design.
1000%. You guys want to talk about some spoilers?
Oh yeah.
You know, we got like 2 or 3
Absolutely.
comments on our last video, because funny enough, we recorded it the day before the Revan spoiler came out, that said Revan was a disappointment, and all my responses were, I don't think so. I think we're going to get a really good kit. Haha! I was right. Alright, so let's start with Revan himself. A little underwhelming, like people have said, in theory. And the guys can validate that I had said the day that this was revealed, I was like, you know what? I think they had to nerf him. He's only villainy. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an experience token to that friendly unit. And then when he flips, he's a 5-cost, 3/6 with Restore 1. and when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, you may give an experience token to that friendly unit. Some of his kit includes Darth Revan's lightsabers, which is a 2-drop villainy upgrade, that if attached to a Sith, it gains grit, and it gives a +2/+2, which is pretty good for an upgrade. We also have HK-47, which is a Sith droid, and when an enemy unit is defeated, deal 1 damage to its controller's base, and that's a 2/4. We've also got Sith Legionnaire if you want to go into the green direction. And while you control another villainy unit, this unit gets +2/+0, which is pretty good if you control Revan. Then we got the big dog. We got Darth Malak, the Covetous Apprentice. He's a 5-drop, 4/7 overwhelm. And when played, if you control a Sith leader unit, you may ready this unit. Pretty nuts. The final card that I'm excited for, because I think it's going to be a red or a green choice. I could be wrong. Maybe yellow is relevant, but I think it's going to be red or green. We've got Deathfield, which is a 4-drop event in red villainy. Deal 2 damage to each non-vehicle enemy unit, and if you control the Force unit, draw a card. I love drawing cards. But yeah, I'm coping hard. I think Revan's going to be really, really good, and if he's not, I don't care. Rex wasn't really good, and I made him work.
I was down on Revan too at first, and I mean, it is kind of like the fanboy that's like, he's gonna be great, but the fact that he can put an experience counter on something for no action cost and no other cost, that's pretty strong. Like, that's not something we've seen before. I mean, it does have some limitations, and the aspect penalty is awful. But
I don't know.
Cost.
I like his value. I like his cost and his stats for it.
Oh yeah.
The fact that he's a 3/6 and restore 1 is really, really good. It says when a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit. That's any friendly unit. I mean, it's him. It could be, him. So it's like,
yeah.
I like the restore.
Like ambush and rook.
I like the
stuff with
restore.
shields.
That is the big thing, because I don't know if there's any villain unit that has restore that I can think of.
Krennic. Sorry.
Leader. So
I'm thinking like,
yeah, just the 2 leaders. I mean, like I said, there's not many villainy restore units out there.
No, you're correct.
Leader or that. So it's kind of nice to see that getting some love for that side. So I think it's pretty strong. I mean, it'll be a 5/8 with restore, and if yeah, this guy can get out of hand, I think.
well, I mean, not only that, I'm thinking like ambush. Like, can we pair him in yellow and we do like a 4-loam Zuckuss Bosk? We're syndicate lackeys, like we're ambushing stuff, killing stuff, and hopefully getting experience counters on them.
Yeah.
And like
sure.
we could go green. We could go ECL. Like Rook has a shield when he comes in, so he ain't gonna die. So he's guaranteed to get an experience counter. Maul and Vader, we got some great ambush. I mean, there's several different ways you can go with him, and it looks like the set's kind of making you lean more red aggression. So who knows? Who knows what's going to be good with him?
Another one of the spoilers that points you down exactly. That points exactly what you just said, Steve. The Darth Tyrannus spoiler. 4/3 shielded while the Force is with you. This unit gains ambush. That'll be exactly what Rook is, but now you can also get the Force back. Well,
Yeah.
not back. You have to have it.
True.
But
Curiosity for wording, when it says attacks and defeats, if you use that on Fennec, who is on attack, deal 1 damage for each of your discard piles, and that defeats a unit, how does that work?
What's the name of the other card? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the second one.
No, you're good. Sorry, Fennec Shan from set. What was it? 2 or 3?
yeah, it has to attack and defeat the unit.
Yeah, it has to meet the whole condition. When a friendly unit attacks and defeats a unit, it has to meet all of that. If that's what you're.
One fell
And
swoop.
I guess the attack trigger on Fennec,
Well,
if that.
I see what you're saying, but I think what we're saying is it has to actually complete the attack.
Yeah.
So like, even if it dies due to her attack trigger, it'll still check to see what combat did at the end, and if it's dead, then she would get it.
Yeah, either way, Revan on top. I think he's going to be great. That's my chase. I'm buying 2 prestige boxes. I've decided because I want to pull that showcase.
Like it. I like it. I mean, no one's talking about the cool card that is that'll keep you around for a while, and that's it's our fun blue card because I like blue cards. Cure Wounds. It is a force card. It costs 1 vigilance. Use the force. If you do, heal 6 damage from a unit.
6
I don't know about
damage.
you, but that is a lot of damage that you can heal.
Yeah.
And in blue, what I always think about, like, okay, you're gonna beat down on my guys or whatever. Let's just say, for example, you have a sentinel unit that's getting beat up. All right, let's just heal it. Let's keep it going. Let's keep more of that damage going. Or if you're ambushing guys in there and you have a force still, you can basically heal up your ambush guy that you just swung in and killed something. I don't know. There's the fact that I would love if it would have been like heal 6 damage from a unit, or I don't know, 3 damage from a base. But I like the fact that Cure Wounds is such a um it's very RPG feel of a card named Cure Wounds. If you play D&D, it's what is Cure Wounds. So I like that card just because of course it's blue. It's a good start
Yeah,
for
if you
me.
got like a 12, 14 moisture farmer or something, you could
Hey, I've
heal it
gotten
back up.
close. I got
It's possible.
close.
Yeah,
There's also
fun.
always cure wounding your redemption.
Yep.
Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah, I think if
Um,
we'll see how easy it is to get your force token back, and if you can keep using the force and then getting it back. I'm not sure exactly how the rules will be if you're only allowed to get 1 token a turn or something. But if not, if you can keep replenishing that token, and like the possibilities are endless there. Otherwise, I don't know if I guess it depends on how control heavy you're going.
Mm.
If that healing 6 damage is what you're going to want to do with your force token a turn. But I agree. I like this card also as a vigilance player. I agree that it is quite potent for 1 cost, and then using your token, unless we're going to be extremely limited with that 1 token a turn, and then there might be something else that you would want to use your token for a turn.
I want to talk about Ezra Bridger.
Please do.
3 resource, vigilance, heroic. He's a 3/5, and I know he's a Spectre, so he's going to be played in Twin Suns because Twin Suns Spectre decks need all the help they can get, and he's great in that. But I'm thinking this might actually shake up Premier a little bit too. Like Quinlan is playing the Liberated Slaves. It's just a 3/5 vanilla. Like 3/5 is a good stat block, and this guy's a 3/5 with some added benefits, and he's a force tag, which is relevant, and he's a rebel tag, which is relevant. So like, and who knows what Spectres are going to do in this set? Spectre might be better than Rebel. Who knows? But he's got some great tags in all of them. He's got a great stat line 3/5, and he's reasonably costed. I think he's going to be something to look at.
Yeah, I think the 3 cost 3/5 will probably be the standard for units going forward for because that's one of the things I've noticed is like Cassian is 3/5. This is 3/5. It's a lot of that. And I think like just thinking of it, if you dropping him down like on attack, you may give an experience token to another creature or specter unit. So who would that be? Who's the 2 drop that you want to put before that? And who's the 4 drop after him? It's like depending on kind of your deck archetype that you're trying to complete there, it'd be really interesting to see that because that creature or specter. So it's like you've got many things to play with there.
I agree, and I would like to add to that, talk about Kanan Jarrus as a new leader unit. I am very excited for him. We all know that I've been desperate to make a Spectre deck work. And now we will have a new option besides Hera. Kanan is a 6 flip on his regular side You do have to pay 1, but you can give a shield token to a creature or a specter unit. And then on his flip side, he is again flips on 6, and he is a 3/6. He's shielded when he flips, and when you control another creature or specter unit, which if you know build your deck around creatures or specters, he gets +2/+2 automatically, or added to his 3/6. So I think there's lots of room to make him work. And again, we were just saying, you know, lots of creatures and specter units out there. So I think he will be a very interesting leader for this set. And maybe we have a shot at having a very viable specter deck now. And, you know, you can throw in some creatures there and see what we can make work.
And I'll round us up with a cute, interesting card of Curious Flock. It's 1 drop, 1/1. When played, you can pay up to 6. And for each resource that you do choose to pay, you give an experience token. And it's fun. I like that the art has 7, is it porgs? Is that how you pronounce the
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
creature?
those little guys.
So if you choose to pay the max amount of resources, you can get 7 little porgs. Otherwise, you know, flavor wise, you're adding 1 porg every resource.
Yeah, it's
You
really
can just form people
cute.
with birds.
Just look at their eyes. How do you not just?
They're
That card is
tweaking,
Yeah.
bro.
Tasty.
They're
it's crazy looking.
tweaking.
And just getting beat down by a 7/7 man. Whew.
I think about like in terms of Magic, you know, control players like to have those scalable creatures, and this is our first kind of example of a scalable creature in that you can play it early if you need an early turn, or late if you need a late turn. So it's pretty solid.
And now that you mention that, Steve, with the existence of the initiative token, this can be just oh, I want that, so I'm going to spend, 1 action, get a big creature, and claim the token. And be like, all right, back to you. Like, I will be swinging with this next turn if you can't deal with it.
And we've been talking about we just talked about the Ezra unit and the Kanan leader. I mean, you know, if you flip it out smaller and put a shield token on it with Kanan, you know, you've got it shielded to make it last longer, and you've got Ezra out there. You can start attacking with Ezra and building it up by putting experience tokens on it. So, you know, there's lots of synergy with these units out.
I mean, or Riven. Start beating stuff down, give it more experience. Keep adding the porgs.
Porgs could be Revan's secret weapon. But yeah, I'm excited for all these cards and more in the next set. Thank you all for sharing. Can't wait. Steve, you have a lore corner for us?
Yes, I have a lore card. This week I wanted to talk about the card Shoot First. And this is a card from set 1. And I'm also going to dip my toe into McClunky as well, a card from set 2. Most Star Wars fans know the inside joke, but for anybody who doesn't know, Shoot First, the art, you know, it shows Han at the cantina sitting back in the booth. And when Star Wars first came out in 1977, good year back then, the scene was, you know, Han went to the cantina, met with Greedo. Greedo was like, you know, I'm gonna shoot you or whatever, and Han shoots Greedo and kills him, like just smokes him right then and there.
He murdered
And
him.
it murdered him. I mean, and that's how it was for 20 years until 1997. That's how the scene played out. Greedo and him talked some smack. He said, you know, over my dead body, and you know, and she just blew him away. Now, George Lucas can't just leave it alone. He's got to keep messing with stuff. So in 1997, he released the, what did he call it? Special edition. And he changed it. And he changed it to where now all the dialogue stays the same, except Han like breaks his neck going left and dodges a blaster that Greedo shot at him. and then
Yeah.
Han smokes him. So basically, like trying to like retroact that. And then in 2012, for reasons that only God and George Lucas know, he went in and changed it again, and had Greedo say McClunky, and then shoot. We think that McClunky is Huttese for basically like you're gonna die now. Uh, but yeah, so there's been a lot of like controversy around this because Star Wars fans need something to bitch about, and this is what we had back then. Um, and George Lucas basically put it like this: he's like, look, uh, I wanted Han, and I do believe him when he says that he does love his Star Wars characters, like they are his children, and I think in his mind he thought Han, uh, he's this heroic, guy. He's a good guy. He's this honorable guy. He's not going to shoot somebody first. Like he's going to
Mm-hmm.
be, a gentleman about it. He's going to let the Greedo get the first shot. But back in the day, these teens going to see the movie, we're all like, "Oh, this is awesome! He's like an anti-hero, like he just smoked that bounty hunter, and he had it coming." So, us as the fans, like really resonated with that, and then I think that just went against George Lucas's vision on that, and I think it might have also been times change, like things change, people's opinions change, and back in the day it might have been cool, but maybe George Lucas was thinking about like 50 years in the future, people might look at that and be like, Han's a straight up villain, he murdered that guy. So it could have been it, we don't know. But that's the story behind the card shoot first. They have Han in the picture, showing that Han shot first. um, and McClunky, whatever the hell that
McClunky.
is. McClunky.
Oh yeah, every time I see those cards, I'm like, it's funny that they both got a card in different sets.
You can tell, like, somebody making these cards, there's a Star Wars fan there.
Has to be. If they're not, then there's just a lot of funny coinky dinks. But thank you for sharing with
Absolutely.
us.
Yes, of course.
All right, Ruben, can I turn it over to you for the deck tech spotlight? Because we have an interesting deck tech version this week.
Yeah, for sure. So we decided, why not do something a little bit crazy this time with the deck tech? We had four of us total come up with 20 cards each. We randomly decided leaders, and Cole did a random generator to determine that. And we decided that this time, with the fun ways of doing deck techs, we used Anakin and Sabine with Petronaki Arena. So we have two aggression leaders and a cunning base, which Petronaki Arena is going to be quite interesting because it's a 26 hit point base, I believe it is.
Yeah.
um,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
so so you're not only aggressive, but your base is going to be pretty low HP there. But we all decided that we're going to start with 20 cards each. So I did 20 cards, Steve did 20 cards, Cole and Jonathan did 20 cards each. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to try it out and see what that looks like. So for me, for those who pay attention to how I like to build my decks, I always start off with my Sentinel units first. And with the ground, since we're running cunning and aggression, I wanted to make sure I get a few of those in there. Since I had to pick 20 cards, I had to kind of be selective of really what I want. Going first, I felt like I had an advantage, so I can basically pick anything I wanted. So that was kind of a fun way of looking at it. And next time we do this, it'd be kind of fun to switch the orders because, okay, you have only so many cards you can play with. So, but yeah, naturally with the ground units, I put Chewbacca in there because I like him at 5 cost. The B1 is great value because it has a 3 power that I feel like any 3 hit point unit is going to have to, you could, if you get a lucky, you can get swing in there, that's great, but it's going to take care of anything that comes through there because typically the turn 1 drop of a ground unit as a 3 maximum, I would say, if they're swinging in there to get hit. But space, of course, a classic. A-wing is always a fun turn 1 play. And of course, running a disabling Fang fighter in the deck itself is fantastic because, of course, we have leader upgrades with JTL and just upgrades in general. One of my favorite cards that I like to play when I do play Hero is Red 5 because its attack ability is pretty bonkers in Twin Suns because everything seems to be getting damage. So you're always going to pop that off. So, and of course, running the Millennium Falcon in there is always good. You can't leave that out. It's just an auto include. My events were Confiscate. It's just literally another auto include card, especially with leader units. The electromagnetic pulse, the EMP is always great to lock out an early ship, and then delay any attack just because you're tapping it down is also great. Since we're running double aggression, why not use the card, right? Because it's just such good value. And being the control player that I am, I added Commandeer and Change of Heart to make an immediate impact on the board state. And finally, I added a couple of upgrades in there. Hotshot Blaster is still one of the best upgrades in the game, and in Twin Suns, it's no different. And of course, smuggling it out is also a fun way to kind of, literally sneak out that attack. And I finished off with Arm to the Teeth because it fits the same build to me. And you spread the love around by adding. Not only do you give your unit +2/+0 as an upgrade, but you also on attack you give another unit that amount as well. So out of those 20 cards, that's kind of how I did it. I kind of picked the best of what I could at the moment with the cards I had. Being first, I felt like I had a pretty good advantage of choosing whatever I wanted. And of course, I did a little bit of flavoring for me because of the control player that I am. And that's what I did on my side. And I think Steve is next.
Yeah, I went second, which was pretty great because like first and second, I mean, it was pretty easy. Yeah, I started out with when I thought Anakin bravado was the first thing I thought, just being able to untap him. I put outmaneuver in there because if I'm in cunning, I want to play outmaneuver. Bo-Katan and Denup Loyalist, R2, Sabine, L3, all turn 1 plays. Denup, I think, is turn 2 play, but just early plays that we can play. Denup works really good with Anakin's ability. Sabine, L3, Bo-Katan, just getting some small units in the deck just to have some as many turn 1 plays as we can. I saw Ruben went with some upgrades, so I wanted to lean into that as well. So I went with Twice the Pride, Casca, Jetpack on top of things. I also added just some fun units that I enjoy, like Tactical Heavy Bomber and Plo Koon. I love casting those. Cham is really good now because somebody at the table's got to ramp. Somebody. Supporting ETA, Red Squadron. Just wanted some air presence, something in space. Shoot First. It's my lore card of the week, so I just thought I'd put it in there. Smuggler's Aid. If I'm in Heroic, I'm playing Smuggler's Aid. That card is incredible. Mo really sold it on me when we've played. The Smuggler's Aid is like always really good. You just store that thing away, and then when it gets down to like the nitty gritty, when everybody's counting life totals, you just have a surprise 3 that you can heal. And then they hate that ship just because I want to play some like big ships like the Tantive 5, or if I want to try and cheat out the tactical bomber early, and then the Tantive 4. I mean the Tantive 4, just because I think it's a really good space unit, Sentinel. And then I passed it off to Jonathan.
Yeah, as third, and I didn't find it too hard, but that was also because looking, like Ruben said, our leader combos and base mean we just want to go fast. So I was like, all right, what can I find that's going fast? I start off with Anakin's Interceptor, just because if we're going to be getting damage on our base from Anakin and buffing him that way, we might as well get additional benefits. I then just started throwing in a couple other low-cost units. ATDP, if we're trading units and trying to get fairly aggressive, it's almost always going to be at least discounted a little bit. Cassian, if we wanted to smuggle him out later. Cloud Rider, Crackshot V-Wing. Then a couple, I was like, okay, if we need to get around Sentinels, because like Ruben said, Sentinels is a great keyword, I did stuff like Breaking In and Did I sneak another one in there somewhere? Cool. Sorry, looking at face off again. Um, more cards like standard units up, so we can just keep punching face and then trading down if need be and getting those values. Um, I did the flanking flame fighter, grenade strike for a little bit of control, guerrilla soldiers, keep fighting again to stand up. The Kamolga heavy fighter, mercenary gunship, because while your opponents could take control of it, I don't think many people would want to. And if they do, okay, that's one less action they're currently taking, and you can always potentially get it back later. Reckless gunslinger, more aggression, kind of with Sabine. Relentless fire springer, the Rokai gunship, shoot down, and then Chaos of War, Chaos of War. There we go. That's the correct wording. Seemed fun. So like, okay, you know what? I'm getting towards the end of my 20 cards. Let's just throw this in. I see it potentially fitting out, but only playing the deck will really tell. And I closed up with Trench Run.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just going to go through my highlights real quick because we're running out of time. I've got red 3 because I just figured giving raid to everything's pretty great. Stolen AT Hauler's pretty fun because you can make a friend by giving a free unit. Mandalorian Warrior because I threw a lot of Mandalorians in here. We can just get a little XP cheat. Dark Saber because if you can flip Sabine and just give her a Dark Saber, that's always a good play. Fleet Lieutenant because there's a decent amount of rebels in here. Old access codes because this isn't a particularly swarmy deck, and then I love smuggling compartment because it lets you do a little bit of resource readying, which I am a huge fan of. We will have that deck linked below. Let us know what you think, and we're going to go into our last section now for Name That Card. So I won last time. I have a card in mind. And the order will be Jonathan, Chris, Ruben, and then Steve.
All right, I'll kick us off. Let's go with does this card cost less than but not equal to 5?
Oh my god.
No.
Okay. It's less than, but not equal to what?
5.
It's
It's
not.
not less
So
than or
just
not
it's
equal
not
to 5.
though. So it doesn't.
So it's 5 or more.
Yes.
Jonathan, that's like the question that
God.
makes my brain explode every time.
Thank you for that clarification.
Works for me. I'll run it back next week. Works for me.
What are the aspects of this card?
Command villainy.
I'm a color-oriented person.
Green black?
Yeah, green black. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Green black.
No, I just meant when I envision a card, I think about what I'm fine with command villainy as the answer. I just meant when I'm trying to find the answer, I picture the colors.
Gotcha. Ruben?
So it costs more. It costs 5 or more. It costs more than
5 or
5.
more.
And it's villainy and command.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess. Is it Scramble the Fighters?
No.
Dang.
I kind of
usually
respect
get
how
like-
you're just like throwing it out there every
snipe
week.
one.
Oh, you're gonna shoot first, man,
Wow.
every time.
I mean, I'm
Fucking
going with
good.
the theme of the episode. Okay.
All right, Steve.
Yeah.
What set is this from?
Shadows.
Okay.
Jonathan.
Does this card have like an ability, not necessarily the red keywords,
Yeah, it has
like
a one
on
played.
attack or when defeated?
Yeah, it has a one played.
One played, okay.
Is this No, that's a stupid question. If it has a when played, then I'm assuming it's a unit. Is this a ground unit?
It
or
is
a
not
space?
a ground unit.
So it's a space unit. Okay.
Steve?
Oh, sorry, I forgot Ruben got eliminated.
Yeah, Ruben TKO'd himself.
Not a. Not a ground. All right, well, tell me the card type.
It's a space unit.
Okay.
Jonathan?
Space unit costs 5 or more. Green black with a when played for shadows. This is my last question.
Yeah, y'all got one more question each.
Okay, let's go with. You know what? Let's go with your question. Is this a promo card?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Does this have a key? Does this space unit have a keyword?
Yes, and it is overwhelm.
Okay.
I know what it is.
Do you?
Finalizer.
It is indeed the finalizer, the might of the First Order.
Nice.
Nice.
I think this card has potential
yeah.
because capturing is a very underutilized, and you can get it out for 9 with Piet. I wish this card saw more play. That's why I chose it this week, because I think it's good.
That's the spirit.
Capture.
Crapped all over that card, and then Ruben was like, "Do you have one?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, here you go." And now I kind of wish I had one.
They're only $2.
Yeah, I need to get me some.
Yeah, I like it. I pulled out a full playset when I thought Captain Phasma was going to be the play. Ha ha! Was I wrong about that one?
I made fun of Ruben for winning one.
I think it's
What
fun.
happened?
When you were asking for finalizers when they first came out, I was like, "Ha
I
you're
did?
trash." Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Well,
But and what we
I
can
remember
always
being
go
wrong
back,
for laughing at you.
fact check. We can fact check later.
well, thank you,
Is
everybody.
is that a command card?
Yeah.
It's not blue.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask for it. Wrong.
I'll pull up some receipts.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this week for Under the Twin Suns, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye now.